Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells, and thanks for coming back for another Money Making Monday. This is the free stuff edition. Everything shown in this video was free to the seller, and I came up with this theme because I kept seeing posts on the Money Making Monday where people found stuff, found it in their house, found it on the curb, somebody gave it to them, whatever the situation was, and it was becoming a pretty common theme. So, all of these sales are taken from my Facebook group. There is a link below the video if you want to come over and join us. Every Monday, we have a thread where we post what's sold, where we found it, how much we paid for it, and how much it sold for, and then show a screenshot or a link to the listing so others can go and check that out, see more about the item, how the listing was set up, the pictures, the description, all those great things that help you sell your items. So this is a great community project where everyone can participate and help each other learn. So let's get started. We've got Larry and Kim Cole. Got a box of these for free, sold one so far for $30, and this is some type of clamp tight clamp making tool. So just a little thingamajig, new in the package, somebody didn't want. They didn't say where they got it, but maybe it was a garage sale giveaway or something like that. So $30 for a free item. Then we've got Gail Briggs. Free to me, sold in a couple of months, same buyer, bought both, so I took best offer on both. And these are some vintage license plates, really vintage, almost antique. 1924 New York license plate and a 1923 Maine license plate. And she sold those for $53.50. Buyer paid $10 shipping. So that's an amazing find for free right there because remember, vintage is 20 years or older, antique is 100 years or older. So these are getting up to where they're almost 100 years old. Okay, Luann, this was the last of our 4 commercial filters I pulled from a dumpster, sold for $66 plus shipping. Took a month to sell. Total sales for all 4 were $300. This is an Ecolab water filter cartridge. So this one right here sold for $66, and that was free because Luann was smart enough to get that out of a dumpster somewhere. And when I see I got this out of a dumpster, these days it's not like people are always getting into the dumpster and crawling around and climbing around on the stuff. Sometimes things are just nicely placed right on top and you just pick it up and go along your merry way. So if that's something you're thinking about doing, you want to check the laws in your area, the regulations of the shopping centers or wherever you're going to go look in dumpsters because I've never done it, but I know that there are maybe city ordinances or laws governing what you can and can't do, and you want to be safe with all that and everything. Climbing into a dumpster could be a, a kind of precarious thing. Things could fall on you. There could be really gross stuff in there, rodents, and all kinds of stuff like that. So just keep in mind the range of, quote, dumpster diving there's all different levels of doing it. It's not necessarily people getting inside and crawling around and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes things are just nicely placed on top, very convenient, or people even put stuff on the ground in front of the dumpster knowing that others may be coming along checking that and getting the items to do whatever they're going to do with. Okay, we've got Gail again. Free to me, listed a couple of months, sold through global shipping, was running a 20% off sale. This is an antique watch fob chain, and she sold that for $32. So I'm wondering if Gail inherited some family possessions, because that with the license plates and this very interesting antique watch fob look like some pretty cool items. Okay, Savannah, free to me. I had it listed for 15 but took a best offer of 11 after 2 months. This is a vintage silk scarf with an equestrian theme that sold for $11. Tina, she got some free Sears catalogs. This one was free and it sold for $22 plus free shipping, so about $15 profit after fees. And the older catalogs, the vintage catalogs, those are great sellers. That's just a piece of history right there. So I think we've seen some of Tina's sales on other videos, maybe the vintage one that had some ephemera in it, or maybe just one of the unthemed, but this keeps popping up with these catalogs, Tina and her catalogs. Okay, Tina again, Perm Rods. Curb find, so free. Took best offer of $15 plus shipping. I had about 100 loose that I sold separately for $6.99 plus shipping. So for giving yourself a home perm, these are perm rods, in case you don't know what that means. And somebody was just throwing them out. She scooped them up and sold them for 15 bucks. Okay, Shay. Free to me. A friend was downsizing and gave me 2 boxes of Halloween and Christmas decor. This was a treasure I found inside. This is a Hallmark. This is Halloween Nightmare Before Christmas ornament. It sold for $69. It's a Christmas ornament and sold in September. So Christmas sells all year, but this is also like a Halloween theme. So maybe somebody's going to use it for something regarding Halloween decorating also. And we got Shay again. Free to me in boyfriend's junk drawer, sold for $68 after a starting bid of $39.99 on a 7-day auction. And this is a vintage Chateau Sport chronograph watch, 1970, Swiss made. So it was just sitting in the drawer. She put it up for sale and walked away with $68. Okay, Karen, free to me. These were my personal membership cards back in the days of movie rentals. Sold within a couple of weeks for full asking price. So these are vintage Blockbuster video membership rental cards. And she sold these for $28. And who would have thought to keep those? If you were a customer of Blockbuster back in the day, you remember the whole routine of going up there, walking around the store, picking out the definitely I want to see movies, and oh, I could watch this again if I don't find anything else movies, or I've heard about this one and might want to try it. You walk around, you get all your stack of movies, and then you make your decisions, and then they have to be back in 2 days, or you get late fees. But in the days preceding Netflix, Blockbuster was, a household name. Everybody did it. And how many membership cards are out there floating around? I don't know what people are doing with them. They're just collecting them as a piece of history because, Blockbuster is one of those business stories that they went out of business because their business model didn't adapt. And it wasn't so much because of VHS to DVD, but it was the subscription business model kind of took off, and Netflix was mail before it was streaming online. So we did that too, where you would go on the website, order what movies you wanted, you'd get them in the mail, you'd have so many days or weeks, I forget how long it was, to return them. You could only have so many out at a time, but you paid a subscription, and Blockbuster just couldn't compete with that. So it's kind of the butt of a lot of jokes now, but back in the day, Blockbuster ruled the world of weekend entertainment at home, because that was quite the outing to take the kids up there and they'd pick out their movies, and that was we did it. That was just a fun thing to do. And it makes you think, how many of these membership cards are floating around out there? And there's all kinds of other Blockbuster stuff that people are selling. The cases for the VHS tapes, posters that were inside the stores, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you've got some of these Blockbuster cards shoved in a junk drawer somewhere, you might want to pull them out and see what you can get for them. And if anybody knows why people collect these, put a comment, because other than just it's something that doesn't exist anymore and it's a piece of history, I don't really know why people would want them. But that was a great idea, Karen. And I just kind of laughed when I saw that, because it just brings back memories of the Blockbuster video days. It was quite the thing back in the day. Okay, Carrie. Paid nothing for these as they were given to me. Buyer paid full price plus shipping. These are some German goblets, glass goblets, a set of 6. And she sold these for $99. And they were free. All right, George Kelly got this teddy bear for free at a garage sale. Took about a week to sell for $24.99. So even superstar George Kelly, who sells some really high dollar items, doesn't leave stuff behind if it's free. I mean, you might as well take it and see what it's worth. You can always redonate it, but it is a stiff, jointed bear, and those are collectible. So $25 for a free item. Patricia, free to me from yard sale free box, sold in about 2 months for $14 plus shipping. This is a Pom Co. I think is it wooden? It's like maybe a resin type material. It's a wall hanging, like a plaque, home decor. Pom Co. was a company, I don't know if they are still out there or not, but they make all kind of home decor items. So, hey, check those free boxes. Then we've got Kimberly, free to me sealed vintage Shalimar. Listed for $67.99, took a best offer of $55, sold in 2 days. So this is some perfume. It was free and sealed, and she flipped that in 2 days for $55. Julie, free, sold for best offer of $90 within 2 weeks. This is a wedding dress. I would love to know the story behind how you got this free, Julie, if it was free on a Facebook group or a garage sale, or if it was your own, because I haven't sold wedding dresses on eBay. That's just something I've never gotten into. But if it was free, then I would definitely try to sell it. I know that I just don't know enough about them, and they take up all of our room. And around where I am, the consignment shops get in there and clean out the thrift stores. So there's really not a whole lot in there anyway. But that's a very interesting niche, wedding dresses. So free, sold for $90. Now here's a fun item. Lisa, I have been cleaning out my house now since January. I really never thought I had much stuff. A lot stuff that my daughters left behind. I warned them that whatever was still here after a certain date would be going on the eBay block. I took best offer of $75 for this free to me LED light hula hoop. And she said that this folds up. So that's how she shipped it, because that was my first thing. Somebody put a comment down there, was my first thought was how to ship this. So it folds up. I think it folds twice, so it kind of compacts down. But a LED light up hula hoop sold for $75, and this was just one of those things around the house. Okay, Christina, sold this morning, listed for about 3 weeks. This was something that was at the house. I don't know how we ended up with it. Had several lowball offers but hung on. Sold for full asking price. This is a vintage Aladdin and Stanley thermos cooler insulated lunchbox. So it's the insulated cups, mugs with the handles, the lunchbox, and the larger thermos. So she got $38 for that. Here's a fun one. Lee just said it was free. This was a 1928 University of Wisconsin versus Michigan football ticket stub for faculty, and this sold for $65. This is vintage ephemera. It's paper stuff, but people collect this. So I just can't stress enough that if you haven't gone through all of your junk drawers and your desk and all those little nooks and crannies of places that things just pile up over the years and get shoved into and never looked at, you could have this kind of stuff sitting there that you can flip for great money. And some collector is going to love this, or I guess they probably already have it by now, but maybe they collect University of Wisconsin stuff or Michigan stuff, or that was the year that their you know grandparent was there or something. There's some connection. So just because it's worthless to you doesn't mean somebody out there won't pay for it. And just think about how many homes are out there and how much stuff is in each home. It's just overwhelming what you already have that you probably don't know has value. Okay, Tina again had a phenomenal week. Found this 1937 Derby program in our barn, so it was free. Sold in 6 hours for $175. After fees, it was about $140 profit. This is a 1937 Kentucky Derby official program and 63rd Kentucky Derby official magazine. So she just put those two together for some Derby collector and flipped it and walked away with about $150. And this is what I mean again, as far as you may have stuff just sitting there that you don't think has any value. It's just taking the time to look it up and see, or even just testing it and putting it out there and see what you get. Because, the older something gets, the more it's going to be worth. And it's just crazy what people collect and what they'll pay for this old stuff. Okay, Anne. My son gave this to me, sold in 1 week. Carolina Panthers reversible jacket coat, sold for $34.99. Don't you love it when your kids give you stuff and it's like the tables are turned there because, oh, great, yeah, I could use money too. Thanks, sure, I'll sell that. And then we've got Anne again. This was a lot of pens I collected over the years, just didn't want them anymore, sold in a week. $11.24. And this was a 120-piece lot of ink pens, blue and black ink, and it looks like they're like those clicky pens. There's different businesses imprinted, like these were marketing, for marketing a company, and because they're not super high end, tips of vintage fine writing instruments or anything like that. It's just, a bunch of pens that were in her drawer that she sold. Okay, Sharon from the free bin at the used bookstore, sold for $14.26 after 2 months. And this is a collection of 3 books called Gentle Manners. So yeah, check those free bins. Alice, this is her favorite sale from last week, free to me, sold for full asking price of $48.99 plus shipping. This is a vintage mid-century Coleman Camp oven box with instructions. Okay, so this is the whole thing, not just the box. Vintage mid-century modern Coleman Camp oven with box and instructions. $48.89. So, free item. And then Alice has another one. After several lowball offers, sold for full asking price plus shipping of $35.55 after 5 weeks. And this is some wax, min wax finish. Both were almost full. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you'd have under your kitchen cabinet or in your garage or basement, kind of just stuck to the side. Like maybe you bought it for one project and then you've got all this left and you're never going to use it again. So she sold these for $35.55. Okay, Max has an interesting item. This was free from her parents. Washing machine motor, listed for about 4 months. Sold to a buyer in Saudi Arabia. Shipping cost was $116. This is a Maytag washing machine motor part. She sold it for $97.49. The buyer paid more than that than the item sold for in shipping. So obviously something somebody really needed. Washing machine motor. How often do you see that? Okay, summer. Collected these coupons from my mail over the last year, so free to me. Sold in a few days for $14.99 plus shipping. These are Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, a lot of 30. So it's coming in your mail as junk. You might as well set up a little envelope or box or something, put these things in there, and then when you get enough, make a listing and sell them. Cynthia, empty boxes really do sell. This Christian Dior box was a long time household item I decided to sell, so no cost to me. Sold for best offer of $18 in 2 weeks. So it was listed for $24, but she took an offer of $18. And that's just a beautiful collectible box. It's just it's almost like shabby chic, very feminine, romantic looking, and some collector wanted it or somebody wanted it for something, so $18 on that. Okay, Dawn, literally pulled out of my junk drawer. Asked my daughter if she cherished them first. She's 30. Sold the next day for full price. This is a lot of 34 vintage Girl Scout patches and badges from the 80s and 90s. Never sewn, meaning they were never sewn onto anything. And these sold for $18. Jennifer found this in the garage when we moved. Full price to Canada for a movie shoot. This is a vintage wolf or fox or coyote solid brass door knocker. Now that is a cool looking item and is sold for $49.99. I'm guessing the address it shipped to was a production company or a movie studio. That's how she knew, but that is a very cool item. And then Jennifer again, free from the garage, listed about 2.5 months. This is the highly coveted Scrubbing Bubbles Continuous Clean Automatic Shower Cleaner. And people just are finding this everywhere. I keep seeing this popping up. I have a video in my top 100 items playlist. I think this item is in there. If not, it's mentioned many times in the $100 item video. So this is definitely something to look for. Pamela got this Casper pillow and blanket combo for free. Sold 3 sets to the same buyer for 75 cents each. And this is a Casper American Airlines first class pillow, pillowcase, and quilted blanket new. $75. So I'm wondering if Pamela, if you flew first class and this was a freebie, or if somebody else you know flew first class and got this and gave it to you. Either way, must be nice to go first class and get nice stuff for your flight, because this is a pillow, pillowcase, and quilted blanket. Okay, Lauren, this was a lovely surprise. Left for free as a donation in front of my store. I'm guessing she has some kind of little brick and mortar store. Listed as a lot because they were mostly $5 to $10 each. This is a Hallmark Keepsake ornament lot of 22 Frosty Friends series and special edition. Sold for $150. So somebody just left that for her and she listed it, and there you go. Okay, Tiffany got free in some other state, sold for full price today. Probably took a year to sell. So I'm guessing she was traveling or something and found this somewhere. This is a high school yearbook, 1972. So yeah, yearbooks sell. People want to replace the one they had, and I'll tell you mine. I moved so many times that what happened to them? We were living in a house out in the country that was really old. It was built in 1950, and we had put all of our boxed up items in the garage, and all the paper stuff molded. It just, everything was ruined. My wedding album, all kinds of photographs, and of course my high school yearbooks were in there. So they were just moldy and gross, and we had to throw all that stuff away. So things like that happen. People lose them over the years. They're lost in their parents' house somewhere in all the clutter. There's house fires, all kind of reasons. So if you see those yearbooks, put them up for sale and see what happens. Okay, Cheryl, free to me, sold in a week. Sent me an offer of 15, accepted. A couple minutes later, the buyer paid full price. I think it was $28 total. This is Alan Edmonds' shoebox. No shoes, just the box. Very nice looking, sturdy shoebox. So yes, empty boxes sell. And this is another one from Cheryl. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Cheryl? It's Shelly. Sorry, I said your name wrong. Shelly. This is a Bible sold in about 3 months for full asking price. Got it at Goodwill, but cashier told me it was free. And thrift stores will do that. Some of them don't charge for Bibles, they'll just give them away. And there's kind of a controversy about this, like if you're going to resell it, that's not really fair. If you got it free, blah, blah, blah. You guys can discuss that in the comments if you feel compelled to. But, if they're going to give it away for free, it's fair game as far as I'm concerned. Put it up on eBay, because this is a nice, looks like, I can't tell if it's leather, but the ones that are leather that are beautifully tooled and have the gold inlay on, it's not like gold, but the gold color on the black or the red, that they're works of art. It's not just that it's a Bible. It's old. It's a work of art, and there's collectors that want them. So if you're in the right place at the right time to get it, put it on eBay, and somebody wants to buy it, then good for you. I think that's what free enterprise is all about. Okay, Lisa. Had these around the house for years. Wasn't using them anymore. Listed for $49.97. Had one watcher offer $44.97. Sold in 2 days. And this is a lot of 11 Craft Mates Lockables organizers. So Lisa has been in the craft business for a while. I've known Lisa for quite a few years. She was a coaching client many years ago, and if you see her store there, it's called Crafts Bus Plus, and she is up in the Baltimore area. But Lisa, I'm glad to see you posting this. But yeah, stuff you've had that's just sitting around. You got $50 for some plastic. Think about that. Okay, Laura, my grandfather's book, so it was free to me. Listed about 6 months. I love selling old books because they're easy and cheap to ship. Yes, this is a first edition Cannery Row John Steinbeck 1945 book. She sold it for $29.90. Okay, Leah, hubcap that was sitting on the side of the road. Picked it up Saturday, sold it on Sunday. There you go. And it is a GMC Denali style wheel center hubcap. She sold it for $30. So, I mean, that's happened. Mine have come off in the car wash, and then you get home and it's gone, and they're not cheap to replace. So shoot, yeah, if you see it on the side of the road, pick it up, sell it. Somebody's going to need it. Okay, now we are down to the heavy hitters of the free stuff, and these are the highest dollar ones in this video. So we've got Dana. Mother-in-law gave me 2 of these do with tag Harley Davidson 100-year anniversary jackets the last week of July. One sold 3 weeks ago and one sold this weekend, and this sold for $295 for something that mother-in-law gave her. I'm wondering if, was this a gift that you just didn't like or want, or was this like, oh, hey, I've got this in my closet, you can have it and do whatever. Either way, it doesn't matter. There's no shaming in this group for anything. No shame in trust me. I'm just curious because if she had those just hanging in her closet, that's kind of interesting. Like, where did they come from, and what's the story there? I like to know the backstory. Okay, Mercedes, found in the dumpster, listed it for $333, sold in a few days, took offer of $250 plus shipping. This is a mini synthesizer organ, and she sold this for $250. Someone just threw it away. And now we have the grand prize winner of the most expensive free stuff item goes to Julie Anderson. Got it for free from my grandmother. Had it at $900, took a best offer of $575. Had it up since the end of June, and she posted this on September 16th. This is a beautiful Art Deco Silverplate coffee service. Just gorgeous. And that's the thing with family heirlooms. If you're not going to use it, and what, might as well sell it and get it to somebody who's going to enjoy it. That's the way I feel about it, because sitting in a closet, sitting in a box in an attic somewhere is not doing anybody any good. I mean, this may have gone to somebody who has a beautiful bed and breakfast, and this is perfect for what they want, or any number of things. It could have gone to somebody who collects coffee and tea services, or they entertain and they have a very elegant home. Whatever it is. So rehome those items that you don't want, other people give you. Don't feel guilty about it. There's no shaming of selling whatever you want to sell, because get it in the hands of somebody who's going to enjoy it. It doesn't do anybody any good just sitting around in a box and you feeling guilty that you have this thing you could pass on to another owner who would love it and cherish it if you don't want it. So okay, I hope my rambling was not too much in this video. I tend to get excited about all of this eBay stuff, especially free things, because we just can't leave them behind sometimes. So I hope I've motivated all of you to take another look around the house. Look in these junk drawers and your desks and closets and rooms you don't really go in anymore, and see what is lurking in there, because you just never know what it could be worth on eBay. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.